welcome back to another segment of On the Real with the Chief. My name is Officer Janice Simon. I'm one of the public information officers with the City of Miami Springs Police Department. If you have any questions you would like Chief Guzman to answer, just send them to info@miamisprings-fl.gov and we'll randomly select 2 questions to ask him. This segment runs approximately once a month, so we love to hear your questions and Chief Guzman will be happy to answer them. Thank you. Good afternoon, Chief Guzman. Okay.
How are you?
Good. So we have 2 very good questions today to ask you. And the first one is Miami Springs Police Department looking into body-worn cameras? Why or why not?
We have been looking into it. It's for an organization our size and the funding abilities that we have. It's not so much the cameras and the technology that's expensive, but it's what happens afterwards. It's the storing of that information, the editing of that information, maintaining that information. It will take probably a full-time position just to do that, because once you get into filming, you know, with body-worn cameras, there comes requests, public records requests, there comes requests from the court systems, from prosecutors, from defense attorneys, and if there's 3 or 4 people in a car, and I'm focusing on the driver, for example, who's possibly committed a violation or a crime, and the other 3 people in the car have no involvement whatsoever, now you have to edit those people out of those films. So when you provide that information, so it's a very expensive process for the upkeep and things afterwards. So that's what limits us right now. Also, I personally feel that there's going to come a time when all departments are going to be required, whether it's the Department of Justice or local, state attorney's offices or state legislature, there's going to be a requirement. So I think there still needs to be some bugs worked out as far as the mandates and policies coming down to us. But overall, for right now, budget and the expense of the maintenance and the aftermath is what holds us up from keep getting body-worn cameras.
And the second one is, can you explain the proportional use of force when an officer has an encounter with a non-compliant individual?
Yes, years ago it used to be called the use of force continuum, and it was stressed in training at the police academy. The terms have changed quite a bit, but basically is, if an individual just breaks away, it doesn't give me a green light or a go sign to just take out my baton and start beating on them. We use the proper amount of force, just enough above and beyond what the individual has used on us. So you break away, you go hands-on, they become more violent, you increase, and you go to your other items that you have. And some departments have, the OC spray, or mace as it's called, which is not the right term or the use of the baton, or the use of the electronic control device, otherwise known as the taser, up to, and on the last resort would be the use of deadly force. So we don't go from 0 to 100. We take it in steps and proportionally use the proper amount of force to control the individual. Aside from that, we have supervisors in place that monitor this. We have policies and procedures in place that monitor these situations. We have a system called Guardian Tracking, where supervisors input information on complaints, vehicle accidents, use of force situations, and that will give us a clear-cut indication if we have a particular officer that is starting to show one of these areas more than others. We'll start monitoring him closely, make sure he's abiding by policies and procedures, and take corrective action that we may need to take. Additional training, disciplinary process if need be. So.
All right, well, thank you for taking the time to answer these very important questions.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you next time.
Have a good day.